Bryan's been in the school system since kindergarten, and the school has been amazingly good to him. Having a disability, like Bryan's, is really difficult, and moving around society, out in the community, can be really hard. The school has done a good job with it. I'm hoping that we can kind of take it to the next level in the school and bring them a little bit higher level of awareness. And also maybe start to push some information out into the community that make it easier for people with disabilities. Tech jobs, you guys are very likely to be engineers or go into manufacturing facilities as technicians or whatever. Those jobs draw a lot of people with disabilities. They work well. Either they're jobs that are creating things for people with disabilities, or they're jobs where people with disabilities can work a lot better than they can in other fields. So the chances that you'll be working with somebody who has a disability is very high. The big one also is that Bryan is trying to buy this robotic arm. We're trying to raise $40,000 to do that. We need a lot of publicity to raise that kind of money. I'm hoping that if I explain to you guys where the issues are, maybe you can use your social media, your presentation skills, your skills as a group to help me come up with ways to get more of this information out and at the same time draw in some more visibility. Robotic arm, but the people who designed and built the arm, it's a company called Canova. They're in Montreal, and they've agreed to come down and give Bryan a demonstration. They'll actually hook it up to his chair and let him try it out. And then they've agreed to bring it into school and give you guys, this team, a demonstration of that, which I thought was really cool. This thing is like something out of the Terminator, really. So this is what we're doing. Mobility impairment. I'm not focusing on people who are have hearing impairments or that are deaf or that have cognitive impairments. Today we're focusing just on mobility impairments. It's a pretty big topic anyway. And hence, impairment should be seen as part of the human condition and not a basis for setting someone apart. The shortened form of that, the one minority that anyone can join at any time. You are one horrible accident or disease from joining the ranks, right? Okay, disabilities are as varied as the people who have them. No two disabilities are exactly alike. The impairments generally are not contagious. You are not going to catch what somebody has. And you would be amazed how many people don't know that. If somebody walked into this room who was 7'2" and weighed 420 pounds, you would react to that. You would have a definite reaction. You would be looking at them. You might feel a little bit uncomfortable around them at first. It's normal to have that kind of a reaction. You're hardwired to. And there are good reasons for it. We won't go into all of it, but so be it. When you start learning to see disability as just being a normal part of the human condition, you can start including everybody. The things that you see in a person, basically what you look for. If you look beyond the wheelchair, you'll see that you've just got a normal person there. I love this one. If you're in a wheelchair, you're special. You're always in the best of moods. You're saintly. Nothing can bother you. Trust me when I tell you that Bryan is no saint, okay? They're extra smart. Okay, so some people in wheelchairs are extra smart. Back to Stephen Hawking. That doesn't mean that being in the wheelchair made them that way. It also doesn't mean that they're cognitively impaired. And that happens a lot. Those assumptions get made. Can't do. One of the things I notice is that a lot of people get worried about the language that they use. To use the word walk, those things are difficult, and just don't worry about it. If you say, hey, take a walk with me, a person in a wheelchair is more than happy to do that. But they don't want to have to take a separate path. That's just not cool. If you have to go someplace that a wheelchair can't go through, that they have to take another path, if you're with a person in a wheelchair, the polite thing to do is to walk that path with them. They spend a lot of time and energy dealing with barriers. That's my question to you. What are barriers?
Steps.
That's classic. Perfect. What else?
Small doors.
Small doorways, yep, big problem.
We have a wheelchair ramp with 2 steps leading up to it.
You're cheating. A barrier is anything which prevents a person from fully participating other than the actual limits of that person's capabilities. Barriers are attitudinal. What do I mean by that?
No one needs that pocket space.
Right. It starts with every barrier. For our purposes, every barrier starts with an attitude. And it's either an attitude of inclusion or an attitude of not paying attention or an attitude of self-centeredness. What happens when you walk in and you throw your book bag down in the doorway? I can walk by it. If Bryan runs over it, you're not going to like him very much, right? But if you set a table in front of the door that's easily moved, right, it's fixable, it's transient. And those things are the easiest of the physical barriers to fix, but they're a little bit insidious, you have to see them.